Hey, Phil Burgess. Jungle Pam. Hi, John. Candida down at the end. I can't see that far.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Hey, you know, tomorrow we're doing a story about the top funny car drivers all the time that you voted.
Yes.
You know who number what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 is
Jungle?
You're right.
He took how many people's poll?
20.
He took 20 drivers, asked them to name their top 5.
Oh, just 20 people across the country.
Oh, okay. The greatest funny car
Just
drivers.
a general people.
Though they have a motorsports background. And we asked them to rank the funny car drivers of all time.
Well, I told them in no particular order, but Jungle was on my top 5 list. And you know what's funny? I called Austin Coyle. And I said, Austin, tell me who you think the best of all time were. And what I love about Austin, he doesn't talk about stuff he doesn't know. A bunch of them I asked him about, he goes, didn't know much about it. He told me about all of his drivers. He said, but I'll tell you one, Jungle. Said, that guy looked like he drove his car one time. Jungle drove to Chi-Town one time, said, he hopped in my car, didn't fit anything. I said, do you want to move something? No, I'll be fine. He said, and he was. He said, I'm pretty convinced that guy could have driven anything on any night.
Natural talent.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I mean, to have raced that long ago and still finish 5th in that
He's
poll.
been dead for it.
39, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, his car's in the top
still in
77.
everybody's memory because he was such a showman and such an everyman.
And you, sorry, and you.
Well, we're going to get started here real quick.
Oh, I'm talking to the
Yes.
guy.
I'm talking over here.
Talking over here.
We got deadlines.
Look at deadlines.
Somebody's dying.
It's like a Bob Seger song.
Well, we're joined in the media center of our #1 qualifier in funny car, Jack Beckman. His 6th #1 qualifying position of the season, 21st of his career. His 3.825 second pass was the 2nd quickest in the history of funny car, and at 332.10 miles per hour. Jack, a lot of magical things happen on this track. Putting that 82 down, you know, to get that #1 qualifying position, you know, where does that kind of rank up there with some of the stuff that you've been able to accomplish even?
Well, it's just a number. And it's interesting how excited people can get over a number, but I think when you see the crowd reaction, when you listen, you know, we were the last car down the racetrack, so let's face it, people are rushing to try to get home. But you hear how fanatical the people were who stuck around. And Pam and I rode back on the tailgate of the tow vehicle. She said, let's do something old school for this run. And I almost wish it was 2 hours earlier so more people could have seen it, because I think that's just a part of drag racing history. I think what made it really special, her and I were commenting, when we pulled back into our pits, they were 60 and cheering and going crazy because they knew that we had done something special. So, you know, I was 1/10 of a team that just did something really special here. Why is it so quiet?
God, well, because nobody can figure out where you got the math. I mean, somebody must have told you that.
Well, yeah, right. And there's 11 of us, and I said, yeah. So you asked on the 6 disc. The Achilles heel of the 6 disc seems to be the first 5 feet of the racetrack. So we went fast. We went #1. We smoked the tires instantly, and we went as quick as anybody's ever run at this track. So it's a little bit of feast or famine with that. We're going to have to be very careful that we don't smoke the tires instantly tomorrow. Being a #1 qualifier should give you an advantage going into first round, but it won't if you can't go the first 5 feet. A lot of times a car can go out there and smoke the tires, and as a driver you can recover and get down to the finish line, not if it smokes them instantly. So we're still in a pretty steep learning curve with the 6 disc. We still don't know exactly why it did what it did on Q3, but we know the direction to head to get it safer. You've got to have something intelligent to add to this. You always do.
Well, I'm trying to put it together
For God's sake,
in a way.
Jungle Pam here.
Well, okay, so that's
Well, we're
Pam.
awestruck.
Pam,
Is that it? Okay.
Pam, I deeply apologize to you. Okay, I normally cover NASCAR racing for a living, but I have met some wonderful people in the NHRA, and I enjoy every race that I come to and do something with. Tell me about you. what makes you so important to Jack Beckman and the rest of the drivers out
She's not
there?
going to talk herself up.
I want her to.
Actually, I won't talk myself.
No, let me tell you about her.
Okay.
When we were towing back and sitting there and talking and just soaking in the memories there, and you know, Pam's heyday in drag racing was 40 years ago when she was active on a daily basis and just part of that clique and that scene. And she asked me, why did you want me to do this? And I said, well, I guess to you, you live your life and it's just normal. I said, from my youngest memories of drag racing, everything about this sport touched my heart, everything. And I said, a lot of people are absolutely passionate about football, but they'll never be able to participate in the sport. I'm absolutely passionate about drag racing and able to participate in the sport. And I said to be able to circle back and include someone like you, and I'm starting to get some goosebumps as I'm saying it, but somebody that I just thought was so iconic. And I still have to wrap my head around that these are all just normal people. She's got to work and go sell door hardware. You know, she's got bills to pay. But to me, she was Jungle Pam. She was part of that team that I just thought, boy, short of taking a rocket to the moon, I thought that would be the coolest thing a little kid could ever get involved in. And I'm 50 now and I'm involved in it.
50? Just a kid. Jack has given me just the most wonderful drag racing experience here this weekend I could have ever asked for. I broke all the windows in his van going down the return road after the last pass. The poor guy who was working for him says, I'm sorry, I took my earplugs out. She was screaming so loud. Drag racing still to me is the ultimate high. It just is.
So what prompted you to call her?
I probably ran into you guys a few years ago at Maple Grove, and I saw her and her husband Bill's back here, and I ran into them at Maple Grove this year, and I said to her, I still want you to back me up. And when I said that to her, I meant it sincerely, and she probably hears that 150 times, and I think she took it like, oh, yeah, whatever. And she came out to Las Vegas, and my best friend was going to go to the SEMA breakfast, which she was going to be a part of the roundtable. I said, would you please tell Pam I want her to back me up? And when he told her, she said, well, I thought he was just kidding. And Brent said, he's not kidding. And she said, well, I didn't want to get in the middle of it. They were running for the championship, and it was intense. She said, but now, yeah, I'll do that. So this field wasn't done for anything but the purest of reasons. It didn't do it to promote it. We didn't do it to get Ink for Infinite Hero. We didn't do it because Pam's getting a paycheck to be here. I just did it because I thought it would be bitching, and she said yes. And then I waited till we had an absolute confirmation, and I sent a text to that man, Phil Burgess, because he has done so much for the sport and completely understands the history of this. I sent one to Louis Bloom, and I sent one to Alan Reinhardt because I knew he would do justice to Pam during the PA announcements.
And Pam, when you backed him up, was it yesterday?
Once yesterday, and
You
then
came
twice.
in like a little boy and said, Jungle Pam, back me up.
Sorry, yeah, thanks.
I'm so excited.
Did you really? Woo!
And I thought you were kidding at first, and then you said, no, she really did.
No, I really thought that, Maple Grove, that's true. We just kind of met, the race was done, we crossed paths in the pits, and we just talked about it briefly, a minute or two. And then, yeah, Las Vegas, and then you exchanged numbers, and here we are.
If I was John Force, if I'm the car owner, it's a no-brainer. You do whatever you want to do. My crew chief makes all the decisions on procedural things. So I had to clear it. So when I talked to her, it was like, I was almost seeing, would she even be interested? If she said, man, I don't do that, I wouldn't have pursued it any further. When it looked like she might be interested, I called Jimmy, and there was a little bit of trepidation. I go, what if he says, come on, man, we can't screw up our routine? He's like, yeah, that would be cool. What's she going to wear?
I'm going to wear clothes on 62.
So Pam, besides exciting, do you have a better way to describe drag racing? Famous that maybe...
You didn't hear our interview down there.
Are you kidding me? This is better than sex.
No.
This is a total sensory experience.
You know what I mean.
I said it up there. Play that again.
Come on, let's hear it.
Drag racing is far out.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay, so your greatest moment in the NHRA is?
You gotta remember, we didn't do NHRA that much.
Gotta say drag racing.
Your greatest moment in drag racing is?
But winning the Summer Nationals of '75 was a total validation of Jungle's ability and perseverance.
Good question.
Thank you.
Good answer.
One approval.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Thank you guys.